Don't try to be original, just try to be good.
I am here to give you a glimpse of one of the most innovative and influential designers of the 20th century.
At its offices in Silicon Valley, California, the company is about to get a first look at its new trademark, the signature it hopes to make familiar around the world. The designer, Paul Rand, created the logos for IBM, Westinghouse, UPS, and many others. Rand doesn't normally work for infant companies, even if they could afford him. But Next isn't an ordinary startup.
When you say design, everybody has a definition which doesn't come.
Paul Rand was born Peretz Rosenbaum on August 15, 1914, in Brooklyn, New York. Curious about art from a young age, he took every opportunity to paint. He embraced design at a very young age, painting signs for his father's grocery store as well as for school events. Paul Rand said, "I like things that are playful. I like things that are happy. I like things that will make the client smile." Paul Rand was self-taught. His lessons came from magazines, books, newspapers, and any other inspiration he could find. Rand's father did not believe art could provide his son with a sufficient livelihood, and so he required Paul to attend Manhattan's Harn High School while taking night classes at the Pratt Institute. Rand also attended Parsons, the New School for Design, and the Art Students League of New York.
Rand began his career with humble assignments. He started with a part-time position creating stock images for a syndication that supplied graphics to various newspapers and magazines. Between his class assignments and his work, Rand was able to assume a fairly large portfolio, largely influenced by the German advertising style of object posters. Sackplakat, as well as the works of Gustav
It was
Jensen.
around this time that he decided to camouflage the overtly Jewish identity conveyed by his name, Peretz Rosenbaum, shortening his foreknown to Paul and taking Rand from an uncle to form a Madison Avenue-friendly surname. The decision worked in his best interest as he became the most enduring brand name for graphic designing. Although Rand was most famous for the corporate logos he created in the 1950s and 1960s, his early work in page design was the initial source of his reputation. In 1936, Rand was given the job of setting the page layout for an Apparel Arts, now GQ, magazine anniversary issue.
One of Rand's notable designs was featured on the cover of Direction magazine, which Rand produced for no fee in exchange for full artistic freedom. This magazine cover art for Direction magazine did prove to be an important step in the development of the Paul Rand look, which was not fully developed.
The December 1940 cover, which uses barbed wire to present the magazine as both a war-torn gift and a crucifix, is indicative of the artistic freedom that Rand enjoyed at Direction. In Thoughts on Design, Rand notes that it is significant that the crucifix, aside from its religious implications, is a demonstration of pure plastic form as well. A perfect union of the aggressive vertical, male, and the passive horizontal, female. His remarkable talent for transforming mundane photographs into dynamic compositions, which gave editorial weight to the page, earned Rand a full-time job, as well as an offer to take over as art director for the Esquire Coronet magazines.
Initially, Rand refused this offer, claiming that he was not yet at the level the job required, but a year later he decided to go ahead with it, taking over responsibility for Esquire's fashion pages at the young age of 23.
Design is one of those phrases that doesn't mean anything, because anything that's graphic is graphic. Painting, dancing, if you see it, writing, if you see it, it's graphic, graphic, graphic.
Very powerful. Before 1960, nobody had stripes, at least not on their logos.
Paul Rand was an innovator in brand conception. He believed making the brand was everything. Paul Rand had 4 principles that he went by, which might surprise you. Let's take a look now. First principle, presentation is key. Second, simplicity is not the goal. It is the byproduct of a good idea and modest expectations. Third is a logo derives meaning from the quality of the thing it symbolizes, not the other way around. And last, the subject matter of a logo does not need to match the subject matter of the business it represents. The only mandate in logo design is that they be distinctive, memorable. Many corporations we still interact with today, developing the branding efforts you'll see on your drive home, on TV this evening, as you use your iPhone or use the computer in
making
class.
graphic design a credible profession. Due in part to his work, commercial artists shifted into graphic designers. You can't criticize geometry. It's never wrong.
Rand's defining corporate identity was his IBM logo in 1956. It was not just an identity but a basic design philosophy that permeated corporate consciousness and public awareness. The logo was modified by Rand in 1960, and the striped logo in 1972. Rand also designed packaging and marketing materials for IBM from the early 1970s until the early 1980s.
The IBM poster with the I, the B, and the M. It was very powerful.
With the use of photography, collage, artwork and type, Rand engaged audiences like no other before him. Innovation leads one to see the new and the old and distinguishes the ingenious from the ingenuous. Popular not only for his logos but his print designs as well. Rand could advertise just about anything. Paul Rand was also a writer, writing 17 books throughout his life, all on the topic of his passion for life and design. Of course, designed his own book covers as well.
Rand sought inspiration in what many considered at the time odd places.
Seeking answers in artistic theory, philosophy, and mathematics. Rand is said to have never stopped reading. Rand not only designed the ads, he became the ad.
I'm such a great designer, it's that design is universal.
You wouldn't normally, it's much easier to think of him as an artist, but I actually think of Paul as much as a business problem solver.
Rand died in 1996. He is credited with being one of the creators of the Swiss style of graphic design. In 1972 he entered into the New York Art Directors Club Hall of Fame.